Hello, everyone, and welcome to another elite episode of the Get Authentic with Marcus show. I'm your host, Marques Ogden. On today's episode, we are joined by Miss Glenis Gassmann. But before we bring up Glenis to the stage, I want to thank one of our amazing sponsors, Carpe Dia Law Firm. Here's something most entrepreneurs don't think about until it's too late. Is your business name legally protected? Can someone else trademark it tomorrow and force you to rebrand everything you've built? That's where Ilona Anderson comes in. She's the founder of Carpe Diem Law Firm, and she helps authentic entrepreneurs protect their brands and their businesses so you can focus on growth, not legal disasters. Ilona specializes in trademark registration to lock down your brand, employee handbooks to protect you from lawsuits, and contracts that actually work in your favor. Whether you're bootstrapping your first startup or scaling a seven-figure company, she's got you covered nationwide. Don't wait till someone steals your name or an employee and sues you. Visit carpedialawfirm.com. That's CARPEDIEMLAWFIRM.com or connect with Ilona on LinkedIn. Protects your business, protects your future. Now, here she is, Glenis. How you doing today, Glenis?
Hey Marcus, how you going?
I'm doing well. Thank you, young lady. First question, Glenis. What does the word authentic slash authenticity mean to you?
A very good question. Thanks for asking. Well, look, I've been in business for a long time, so when I think about being authentic, it's about being in total alignment with your vision, your mission and your goals. Like to me, that's where authenticity comes in for business owners. All right. It's really like making sure it even happens like even when it's uncomfortable, you just gotta be in alignment with mission and your values and your purpose. And when you actually are in that space, you actually feel it, right? So there's a whole lot of different ways and meanings of authenticity in business. I think like there's authenticity and integrity. That's all about keeping your word. Um, there's authenticity in leadership. That's like being courageous, having the courage to do what you say you're going to do, not let others let you, like sway you. And then there's the courage, for me, around the courage around being focused. Being authentic around being focused. And that's a big thing these days because we've got so many things to take our focus and distract us, right? So, I break it down into those three things when it comes into business.
You know, Glennis, I wrote something down and I hope you gained that same insight, audience, that I did. To Glennis, authenticity is when values and purpose are aligned, right? It's alignment. And I would like to talk about, Glennis, I call that in business an alignment around a unified vision. When everybody in your organization is aligned around the same goal, the same vision, the same purpose, what happens is, in my opinion, greatness happens. But what happens is you stop wondering if you're all on the same page and you have the courage and the conviction to move forward together. And I always say you can go further together than by yourself. I've always believed that. So, Glennis, please tell us more about your backstory. I know you're from Australia. And please tell us what you do and the work you do to help your client base.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, totally get that. So yes, I actually reside in Australia, but you may hear a little bit of a twang in my accent. So I'm from New Zealand originally. So,
Mm.
and then I've been in Australia for over 40 years now. And I live in Queensland, which is, the top east of Australia. And it's very hot. It's great. I love it. And what I do is I work with business owners, business coaches, consultants, and basically show them how easy and simple it is to actually like create the business that they wanted to create in the first place. My background is accounting. I had an accounting practice for many years, and in alignment, we talk about alignment. In alignment with my vision, it was inauthentic for me to actually stay as an accountant. But after around about 10, 12 years in, I realized that where my purpose was actually helping business owners achieve what they went into business for in the first place. And that wasn't just crunching their numbers after things had happened. It was actually giving them and helping them with the advice that they needed. And initially, it was all about strategy, you know, but then I started realizing that it's more than strategy. It's like there has to come a time when people stop collecting strategies and start putting them into action. And
Mhm.
so that's when I developed, my unique program called the Your Success Shift. And that's what actually I work with business owners and coaches, consultants to actually shift their framework, their mindset, their whole way of being into actually someone who's reliably taking action in alignment with their goals, missions, and visions every day that they go to work. You know what I mean? And I actually just wrote a book actually last year. I've put all my 35 years of knowledge in here, and it's called Why Knowing Isn't Enough. And
Mm.
the no fluff guide to building a business that finally turns your actions into profits. And if I had to take a snapshot of that, it's all in alignment with your tactical responses. Because I don't know, like 20 years ago, we used to go and get business plans, and they'd be pieces of paper and they'd be shoved in a drawer and they'd gather dust. And people go, yeah, I've got a business plan, but no action.
Mhm.
Now, this is more in alignment with, let's just take the action in alignment with where you're going in life. What do you want to do? And you can apply it to all areas of your life as well. And I've got some simple little things in there um, to start off with. We start off with your inner core. Like, why do we procrastinate? Why do we actually not take the actions we want to take? Um, and then we create, that the vision. What is your why? Why are you here? And it's not to get a bigger bank account. It's actually that's the result of why you do what you do. And and then the middle part of it is all about developing your own unique action plan because everyone's different and we all respond differently and how we want to take the actions, when we want to take the actions, what works best for us, da 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 da. And then the last part of it is all about, okay, well, now I know, I'm taking the actions, I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I want to give this away. I want to teach the rest of my team or, the people around me, and I want to give this away. And what I see happening from people who actually embrace this and take this on is that we're going to get a lot more innovation. We're going to get people who are sitting on great ideas
Mhm.
and they'll actually start putting them into action, which is really exciting. They're not just gonna like go along with other people's ideas. They're actually finally gonna have something of their own. Yeah, take out to the world. So yeah, this is my book was released in July. It's on Amazon and it's on Audible actually now as well. So you don't have to just pick up a hard copy. You can listen to it as well. And it's not long. It's literally a work in progress book or something that you'd listen to, when you're feeling like you just haven't got that feeling the day where you're in alignment and you want to take a lot of action. You know what I mean? When you wake up some mornings and you feel really powerful, right? And other mornings you don't. And so this is the book to listen to and really get into it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about what it's going to bring.
You know what, Glennis? I really love this. I wrote down something, knowing why knowing isn't enough, right? Because here's the thing, knowing something is not going to take the action of doing something. I have a saying 80% discipline is going to create 20% massive action. It's not about knowing your discipline. It's actually the art of being disciplined, doing the work, getting up and like I do, and working around like 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Like you're up here now, it's 4 o'clock in the morning where you're at 4:15 a.m. Like getting things done. Like me, wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and work on some files before my team gets up, before I get a bunch of emails coming through and gonna take my attention away, and then getting my workout done, getting my running done, getting my core done, no excuses, having my first call, and all these things. I'm now divorced, single dad, taking care of my 11-year-old, helping my 21-year-old when she needs, right? There's no excuse. The discipline creates the action. And I love her title, Why Knowing Is Not Enough. Because if you just know something, but you never do anything, well, what good is it? What good
I
is
know,
it?
and we're living in this world of abundant information. Like we can listen to podcasts, we can, like we've got an amazing amount of AI out there. We can ask AI anything and get it, which seems to be a little bit of a buzz at the moment and a little bit of a flavor. But if you don't actually put something into action, then nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, right? And I actually like I saw this so many times in my coaching and mentoring. It's like, and for me, it was actually soul destroying as a coach and a mentor going, well, look, last week we spoke about the 3 things that you were going to do this week. And this week you come to the call and you actually haven't done it. And it's like, I'm wasting my time here. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like get some pep in your step. And so, this book has come out of actually it's quite there's a lot of information about me too, because, you know, I've been in business for a long time and I've also got a degree in accounting and business. But you know what? I've been through the school of hard knocks just like everyone else. We go up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is about, hey, you don't actually have to go through all the ebbs and flows that I went through if you actually follow some of the advice that's in that book. Yeah.
Glennis, I tell our clients, hire me so you don't end up like me, bankrupt, broke, $5.5 million of debt I amassed when I got to Raleigh, almost homeless, $1,550 short of next month's rent, no car, everything you could think of, $400 to my name. That was it. So I
Mm.
really respect you because, again, right, ladies and gentlemen, why knowing is not enough. We're going to dive into that on the next segment. It's really about you understanding that having knowledge, right, is one thing. Gaining wisdom means you've actually done the experiences, you've done the business, you've lived life. Wisdom is where it's at, because to me, wisdom means you've actually went and done the actual work. You started that business, you got off the couch, you said this, that you're going to do this, you did, so you're going to do that, and you did it. So, Glennis, please tell us, give us a big takeaway from this awesome book for someone who's listening that is full of knowledge but has no wisdom because they haven't tried it yet. They're wanting to try it, but they need to hear from Glennis either how they should do it or why they should really do it.
Yeah. Well, the why, firstly, you've got to get really connected to what the biggest pain is for you. Why are you doing this? It's got to be something out there that's going to pull you out of bed in the coldest mornings and have you take some actions, right? So really work on what it is you're doing, why you're doing it. And you might have to do a little bit of a deep dive inside yourself to work that out. Remember, there's a lot of people out there in the world that actually need what you have if you're prepared to offer it. So work on your why, bring it down to one sentence and really get connected to that every morning. Stick it up on your wall, stick it up on your bathroom mirror, like read it to yourself every morning, get connected to it. And then take one action from whatever's coming up. You're listening to this podcast right now. There'll be some things that that's coming up for you going, well, you know what? I've had that idea And, I had an idea 2 years ago, and now I see somebody else is running with it. So I'm going to trust myself with my next idea, whatever it may be. You may already have it in your pocket, whatever. Now I want you to take an action within 24 hours. I don't care what it is, one action. It might only take you 6 minutes to take, but just take an action and then write down tomorrow's action today. And then keep doing this consistently over time, and you will find that you will achieve everything you want to achieve. So this is about consistent actions over time to achieve what you want. It's not a big bang theory. Yeah.
That's what's the old saying, right, Glennis? Just get 1% better every single
Every
day.
day.
Glennis, our podcast is about a little over 3.5 years old now. And now we're getting about 200 to 300,000 downloads per month and climbing. But when we started, we were like everybody else at the bottom, getting 5 downloads, maybe 10, on a monthly basis, maybe 100, maybe 150. I mean, we had to start at the bottom. And I tell our clients and I tell people this in general, every expert was once a beginner. But I want to shift really quickly. Again, staying with the theme of why you know isn't enough, I want to go to a very powerful quote by a very, very well known business leader who had an idea and he took the idea and he ran with it. He was the individual who created the car, Henry Ford. Whether you
Yep.
think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Whether you
Yes.
think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
That's right.
This is all about mindset. And I'm big on mindset. I've gone through so many storms and bankruptcy and divorce and hardship and losing it all and having my home foreclosed on, having to leave my home because of a divorce. I've gone through so much, had to start things over, you name it, right? I've been there. Can you please talk to our global audience from your perspective, the type of mindset, the type of framework they need to have in order, right, Glennis, to actually be able to take the action needed to start that business or that thought or that idea?
Yeah. Look, once again, you know, you know when you're in the sweet spot, when you've captured something that is really painful for you, like what you were just saying, Marcus, about like you've been through everything. You've been at the lowest of the low, right? We've all, I've actually been there too, in different circumstances, different things, right? But when you actually know what your purpose is, I'm just going to go back to you've got to get really connected to your purpose and why you're doing it. And when you wake up every morning, that's your mission to achieve that. And you're in the sweet spot. You're like, you feel it, you're in your power. And that's the mindset that comes from. You don't have to think about taking action because guess what? It's already there. You're into it. Um, it's like I'm sure you there'll be a few listeners out there that has gone down the road of I need to lose weight, right? We've all been down there, right? And some days you think about that and you go, you know what? I'm just not there. I don't want to just eat lettuce and carrots and protein shakes and stuff like that. And then there's other days that you go, you know what, I'm doing this, and you feel it. You just feel it. So how do you feel that? There's got to be something in the future that you're looking for, that you're wanting, that hasn't arrived yet, right? And so you got to really get authentic. You got to get down and dirty. You got to basically say, what is it that I can achieve for the rest of the world? So it's not about us, it's about others. So what is it that I'm about to do that is going to help others? Like for me, it's about get out of your head and start taking action. Like why knowing is enough. You don't need more knowledge. You just got to put this into action. So for others, it could be, what is it that I'm actually so passionate about that I want to, it's my thing for the rest of my life. And then you get into that zone the actions will take. But to help you come along with that, just make sure you're creating your purpose and your big why. It's got to be bigger than you. It's got to pull you out of bed on those cold, dark mornings, and then take an action within 24 hours that's going to move this forward. And then write down your action for the next day and do it and then the next day. And then it's this consistent over time. It's like a snowball, just keeps rolling and rolling. And like what you said about your podcast and your downloads, yeah, it's like anything that you start, if you've got the courage to keep going, even when there's nobody that's in alignment with you, even when people, your friends are saying to you, oh, you're mad doing this, you know what I mean? And you still got this courage to keep going because you believe in it. That's when the magic happens. Yeah.
You know, this is really just inspiring because there's so many great nuggets. Ladies and gentlemen, what did you hear Glennis say? Sometimes on your journey, you're going to have that belief in yourself when no one else does. Other times, we're going to believe in you, and that helps. That's great. But there are going to be times in your journey where you're the only one that believes in yourself. And I've been there, and I've had to go through that. And again, I feel when you go through that, you come out on the other side, you have shown yourself that you are strong enough to do and handle whatever comes your way. So that's awesome. So here's my question, okay, Glennis? Talking to a entrepreneur that's been in business for a little while, and they have the idea, and they stay in their lane, but they got more knowledge to try something more or great, but they're afraid, they're paralyzed. It's paralysis by analysis, right? There's a great saying I heard you say it about, your vision, that high performing people don't join small dreams. To scale beyond yourself, right, Glennis? People have to buy into your vision. Can you please help our audience that are those, like, again, entrepreneurs that are small and are trying to go to the meeting, like they're trying to break out of the everyday rut, and they do good, but they're just stuck in that, that making, let's say, multiple six figures, whatever the case may be, right? And they're trying to
Yeah.
get to that next level, but again, their vision is not big enough. And I please help explain to them, or how would you explain to our global audience about how to create a vision where people that are high performing want to join them or join the organization to help the organization get out of the mud and get to that next level?
Mm. Well, I think it comes from yourself. It comes from within. So when you have something that you're really passionate about and you want to change the world, you're going to tell people, right? You've got to tell people, you've got to share with people about what you're up to. And you've got to believe in it yourself, like what you just said. So you've got to have this belief that the world needs it and you need it. And there's this belief in yourself. And you're going to keep sharing and keep telling people. And you will attract people like you who believe in it as well. All right. And you got to stay focused. And, like I have a good saying, a saying from a very, a well-known, successful entrepreneur as well. And that's Warren Buffett. And it's like the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. And that seems to be the crux of a lot of people use this reason, story, excuse, whatever you want to say it is. I've got no time. Yeah, I want to do this, but I got no time. And then so they sit in that big puddle of procrastination. What I'm saying is, you can carve out time. You can actually, if you're really passionate about what you want to achieve for others in life, you will carve out time every day of the week and you will share with people what you're up to. And people will get so inspired and enrolled by what you're up to that they will follow you. And then away you go. And then it's the snowball. So you've got to have the courage and conviction to actually go out there and talk to people and say, this is what I'm doing. And yeah, you got to carve out time because it's not going to happen. It's not America. It just doesn't happen. You got to put the effort in and you got to take some action. Yeah.
Glennis, fantastic interview. How can our global audience get in touch with you? You said your books are on Amazon. We'll have that information in the show notes. Is there any place you'd like to direct our global audience to go to get more information and or connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, you can go to yoursuccessshift.com, or you can look me up at glenisgassmann.com. I've got a few other books on there about, financial prowess and, how to, get your profits up. You can look me up, link me in on LinkedIn. I'd love to have a chat with you. There's places on there where you can book a time to have a chat as well. So yeah, and for sure, have a look at Amazon and the Audible, and give yourself a gift of growth for Thanksgiving and Christmas this year as well.
Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's such a honor to have someone that's in the field of coaching and helping others and mentoring, have a lot of the same values and things that I believe in. So this has been awesome. We want to thank Carpe Diem Law Firm. Again, we want to thank Carpe Diem Law Firm for sponsoring this episode. Ilona Anderson and her organization are the best of the best. And the authentic tip of this great interview: conviction is the currency of scaling and growing your business. If people don't believe in you, then they'll never follow you anywhere. But when you believe in you and people can see that clearly, at that moment, you become unstoppable. So, conviction is the currency you need to have to get others to follow you, for you to scale your business to the next level. Again, my name is Marques Ogden. I am the host of the Get Authentic with Marques show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic day. Okay. Thank you, Glenis.
Thank you so much, Marcus. It's been lovely having a chat with you.
Also, absolutely. You're going to get an email. I know you're in Australia. You're going to get an email from Danica with this link to book a time and speak with me. I'd love to hear more about your book, what you're up to, how we could potentially collaborate, support you. So you'll get an email from Danica, and please book a time whenever it works best for you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. You have a good evening for you, and I'll continue with my day.
Have a good day. Talk to you soon, Glenis.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ben? Ben? Yep. All right, we didn't stop recording yet.
Recording stopped.
Sweet. That's all good.